our stripes for you, earning our stripes in motorsport. It was race time again early in June for South Africa's off-road fraternity, with the venue switching to Zululand for the Bell Tongaland Challenge. The event was the fourth round of the Total GTE Off-Road Series, with the championship hopefuls either out to consolidate their positions or to make up for lost ground. A few stars of the future were also on hand as competitors and technical crew went through all the formalities that go with off-road racing. Pre-race paddocks were as usual a hive of activity as the start of the event approached and the adrenaline started to work on crews. A couple of young mechanics were also in attendance in case anything went wrong for crews on the opening 70-kilometre section to decide start times. The second day called for a tough 430 kilometres, starting and finishing in Mbazwana. Toyota 1000 Desert Race winners Klaus Degener and Derek Pinoy were the first away on the short sprint to determine start order for day 2. Unpredictable weather was a talking point, although Degener was not worried if conditions turned wet.
Well, you know, mud has never really been a problem with us. This car goes through any mud. It's never got stuck in mud. So I'm not concerned about the mud. What got us down at Barberspun was that we ran on open carburation, K&N filters. This time we're going to close the filters up and draw the air through the top on a Donaldson log, so we're not worried about the mud.
Richard Schilling and Robert Walk were giving the new Motortech Raceco only its second outing after a disappointing Toyota 1000 Desert Race debut.
The problem was that the gearbox is actually a gear seized. We rebuilt the gearbox. In fact, we've now got a gearbox which has come from America, which was the original intention to run, and it's sorted out. We've got the new engine too, so we're looking forward to a trouble-free run.
Front runners Bucks Carolyn and Kenny Scotthammer were among the big guns in the field, with the wet sections along the route a concern for the pair.
Well, we haven't got the proper filtration for water on the car, for the air filters, so we're going to go through the water slowly. That's basically it. We can't go fast through the water, otherwise if it sucks the water into the motor, we're going to cook the engine. So we're going to go slowly through the water. You can't make up much time in that stuff anyway, so it's not really a problem. It's just that, and also we keep dry, and in this weather, I also don't like getting cold.
For former South African champion Fred Levesque, it's the challenge that counts.
It's the challenge of being out there by yourself. When you get stuck, you can almost cry at times because you haven't got the strength to pick up the car, or you can't push it yourself. But it's much more of a challenge, I've always found, by myself.
For veteran off-road star Harry Roscoe, it's the unpredictability of off-road racing that often provides for frustration and disappointment.
Every race I've had, the most ridiculous little problem. I mean, things that should never happen to anybody happened to me. It's unbelievable. I mean, the last race I lost the Welsh plugs and the carburetor came off. It doesn't happen, those sort of things. Then I broke the diff the second day. That was long tyres I was running. But that's the way it came, so I just had no luck.
For Philip Milan, early retirement was another disappointment.
It was going tremendously well, and then suddenly there was just this water coming through the bonnet, which is again a gasket that went. And it's no mechanical failure, it's virtually something that just happened.
Another front-runner, Arpie Reinecker, was hoping a few changes to the BP Ford would put an end to his run of mechanical failures.
Dit is eintlik 'n klein foutjie wat ingeslyp het. Twee boutjies wat bly breek het op die suspensie. Die spanning was alles op die boude geweest. Nou het ek die ding verander dat die spanning op 'n flange is. Die spanning nou van die boude afval en ek het staalboude ingesit. So ek glo nie daai probleem sal ons weer kry nie.
Steve Parker and VZ Fonsale were favoured to win Class 7 in the BW buggy and were soon locked in battle with the SVM Jeep, driven by Cliff Barker and Mike Redden, running in Class 6. Parker and Fonsale appeared to have matters under control until they managed to get bogged down on a sandy section, and the Barker Redden Jeep sailed back into the lead. With the Toyota Works pair of Philip Malone and Richard Leake not having a happy season so far, the lead in the Class 6 Championship has been taken over by Reina Menkes and Renier Jooste. As far as Menkes is concerned, consistency has been the key to success for the pair.
Ek dink op hierdie stadium omdat ons gelukkig is dat ons nog baie gebreek het nie. Ons nog elke rally klaar gemaak. Ek dink dit is waar ons lê voor op punte nou.
Bert and Mark Greef were the fancied combination in Class 10 and were looking forward to a clean run.
Peter's very quick. It's going to be interesting. We'll see what happens today. There's a lot of other runners, 10 in Class. We'll just have to see. My car's going well. Got a navigator now, my son's navigating for me, so it can only be better than the single-seater.
Class 5 was expected to be hotly contested, with at least 3 crews in with a chance of victory. Springbok rally driver Cassie Coetzee and Wiley Harrington were hoping they had overcome early season problems.
Ek glo ons probleme is oorbrug met ons vorige probleem en ons het 'n baie goeie kans om goed te doen. Ons het 'n nuwe masjien in wat goeie potensiaal het in vergelyking met die verlede.
Alfred van Vuren and other championship leaders like Theo Coetzee were also in a confident frame of mind.
Ek glo so, ons nog aan die begin maar wat nog eers halfpad deur die kampioenskapsreeks nie.
Nou, die tweewiel-dryf is definitief nie die ideale situasie nie, maar ons het hom so verander dat hy nou al hoe beter loop. Ons het in die Kalahari 'n uur vasgesit, maar ons hoop dit is nie so erg hierso.
The motorcycle section saw the return to action of Springbok Jeremy Davies after knee surgery. It was Winston Yamaha Works rider Gavin Nimmo, also plagued by a troublesome injury recently, who led the field away.
Recovered 100%. I haven't had any problems. I've done 2 or 3 races since that and haven't had any recurrences.
No national championship points were at stake in the bike section, with Nimmo setting the fastest time on section 1. It was the return to action of Davies, considered the top off-road rider in South Africa, that attracted the most attention.
Yeah, you seem to forget actually how fast you're going and how brainless you are at times, and I think just to come back now after a layoff makes you aware of how dangerous the sport actually is.
Gavin Nimmo outpaced Jeremy Davies by half a minute on section 1. Errol Dalton came in third, with the top 6 completed by Kevin Tebbett, Chris Dodd and Willie Venter. On the car side, Klaus Degener and Derek Pinoy were 2 minutes ahead of Bucks Carolyn and Kenny Skolthammer, with veteran Harry Roscoe having a good run to come in third. It wouldn't be off-road racing without the traditional early morning start, which was, as usual, accompanied by cold weather.